Thank you. Thank you. So, let's talk. Let's talk about performance today. So, as we join you, many of you have come here because you're trying to improve performance for yourself, for your teams, for your organization even. So, before we start talking about how to improve performance, it's important to understand what do we mean when we say performance. Now, think about where we are right now. When was the last time you went to a performance? Perhaps it was a movie. Perhaps it was a theatrical production. Maybe even a comedy. So, when somebody asks you, how was the performance? And you said, it was great. Well, what exactly do you mean by that? Did you mean that the performer or the performers were great? Maybe it was the band. Maybe the musicians were great. Or was it that the way things went from one scene to the next, or from one song to the next, the flow, if you will, was great? Was it that? Or maybe even the production. Maybe the director did such an amazing job with this. Maybe the whole staging of the production was awesome. What is it that was great? Well, if you think about what Gary Rumler said in the mid-90s, he talked about performance and he says, performance happens in all three of those areas. All three. It happens on the organizational level, it happens on the process level, and it also happens on the individual level. So think about that. Is it the individual performers that did great? Is it the way things handed off? That's the process. Or was it the setup? Did we have the right people in the right seat on the bus going in the right direction? That's the key. Only when all three of those things are coming together, that's where optimal performance happens. And that's where we need to be. So today, as we look at that, as we look at our situation, we need to identify what's broken. Where do we need to emphasize things? Is it with the people? Do we need to look at that and say, hey, I need to train my people more so they can do things better, or maybe even engage them so they want to do things better? Is it the process? Is it about how we interact with our departments, how I do my work here and then I hand it off to somebody else? Is that happening okay? Or is there problems in that white space between those? Or ultimately, do we need to look at that as senior leaders and say, you know what? We need to organizationally fix that up. We are not living and operating according to our mission, according to our passion, according to the things that we say we're going to do. If we're inconsistent there, we have a problem. Let's get the right people on the right seat on the bus. And again, let's drive that bus in the right direction. That's what we need to be doing more of. So today, let's look at that performance. Let's fix that performance. And let's get it from where it is to where it needs to be in all three of those areas. And let's get to that optimal piece. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.